Hi everybody, Tony here from Williamston Theater. We got a great question about These Mortal Hosts from someone who sent us a message saying they loved the play and they wanted to know more about it. They wanted to hear what the playwright's intent was. They were wondering what he wanted people to get from the play, and so we put that question to him and asked Eric Coble, wonderful playwright who we like a lot, and he sent in his thoughts on what spurred the play to happen and what it was about in his mind, what the goal was for him. And so here is the response from Eric Coble.
Hi everyone, this is Eric Coble, the author of These Mortal Hosts, answering a few questions about it. The play is one of a specific genre that I write in. I try to write in a number of different genres of dark comedies and children's shows and straight dramas and things like that. But this is a particular style that I find myself coming back to sometimes called, that I call dark mystery plays that are dark magic plays, because they all take place in our world, seemingly, but then events begin to happen that the characters just can't explain and that get stranger and stranger, and take on kind of dark overtones as well as hopeful overtones. So there's this real blend of the hope and belief in magic, coupled with the real fear of not being able to understand the mysterious in the universe. And so that's what These Mortal Hosts definitely falls into. The play itself came about when I started thinking of the question of what would it be like to have something inside of you that's not you. And clearly pregnancy is the most obvious element of that. But when you have this sense that you are not alone in your body, and I really got intrigued with that. What happens when you feel distinctly you are not alone in your body? And it occurred to me as being a head kind of thing where you begin to hear voices and begin to have knowledge you shouldn't have, or like a heart kind of thing where you're just getting these emotive senses that you can't explain, or then this gut kind of thing, which literally can translate as a baby, or other things. And then I began to think about what kind of characters would be interesting to deal with all those three issues. And the little town that it's based in Colorado is actually based on the little town I grew up in. So that world is a real world. The world they're describing is very much one that I know personally and can attest to. The magic and the weirdness that goes on within it was all my imagination and me trying to explore what would be the complications of these characters actually believing these things or doubting these things or acting on these things. And then the other theme that I really was fascinated with and continue to be fascinated with is the idea of faith, and where does the line come between faith and madness. And when you are clearly believing in things that other people are not experiencing, but you know in your heart are true, how much do you act on that? How much do you give into that faith even when it starts leading you toward places that really don't make sense or might hurt other people or yourself? How much do you follow that and trust in that? And how much do you pull back and say, this is crazy, I can't do this? So I wanted to explore that. I've always been fascinated with people who live on that edge or cross that line. And I wanted to create that within the play. And finally, I wanted the play to not answer the questions. I didn't want to specifically, I was interested in the questions. I wasn't interested in the answers to some of those questions. I mean, I was interested in exploring them, but I didn't want to provide answers. And I hope to that end that the play leaves one with a sense of it is about belief, and what do you choose to believe? There is a logical explanation for every single thing that happens in that play. There is a reasonable, rational explanation that's totally real world and doesn't have any metaphysical elements to it. And there's also the idea of miracles. And if you choose to believe that what happens in that town of Dove Creek is miraculous and weird and magical, there is ample evidence for that. If you choose to believe that it's all just kind of mass psychosis created by a few explainable events, there is plenty of evidence for that. And I wanted the audience to be left with that. Here's the evidence. Here's what happened in this story. What do you make of that? What do you believe? Where do you put your faith? That's where I wanted to leave things and leave the audience.
Thanks for sending in questions. We have a video coming out that we're expecting to come out soon with sort of a question and answer panel with the cast and directors. So I think that'll be fun. So keep your eyes out for that.